Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is the next video in my Moving to London series, and today we're going to be talking about packing up our home as well as shipping. And of course, I filmed everything as we were going through the entire process. So without further ado, let's get into it and let's have a look at the real side of the packing, the decluttering, and the shipping. And then there was an empty house. Okay, I lied. First, there was a lot of chaos to figure out what stays, what goes, and where it all goes. And we still had to take into consideration that we needed stuff for our day-to-day living for the next 2 months or so. So while the declutter was in process, we had to decide who we were going to ship with and how much we were going to ship. We shipped with Brytons because they gave us the option of a shared container, and because we decided to take mainly sentimental items, a few kitchen stuff, the AMCs that my mom had gifted me for my wedding, our photo frame, some albums, books, and a few other sentimental items, it made sense to do a shared container. One of the other reasons we liked Brytons was because they did the packaging themselves. I mean, they are professional packers after all, and I did want all my items to arrive safe and sound and in good condition. And while we did have the peace of mind of comprehensive insurance, there is nothing more scary and emotional than seeing the contents of your life over the last few decades driving away at the back of a truck, and you know that you're only going to see it in the next few months. And then the decluttering continued. I would suggest, if time is on your side, to get going with this as soon as you possibly can. You don't realize all the things you accumulate over time. One bulk pickup later, and the house was starting to look a little more empty. So in here is what is actually going to London, and it scares me a little bit. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. What we do want to do is actually vacuum seal. So we are vacuum sealing clothes so that we can pack better. We've actually hired somebody to come in and help us pack it a better way. We've realized after getting our bags, and we have an allowance for 32 kilos per bag, but we were not even getting close to 20 kilos in our bag. So we've decided to get somebody over that's going to help us pack in a better way, because we're not really that good at packing, right?
No, we're not. I mean, these bags are...
Do you want to show us how that bag works? Do you have one that's...
Yeah, these are great. This bag is actually the same as these bags. It pulls up and then it zips open, so that it can either be a little... unzip this one. It can either be this big, as like a duffel bag, a little handbag, or you can unzip and then you can fill stuff. But the problem is, even though these are full, we get 32 kilos per bag, and these are like filled up to 19 kilos. So because we haven't vacuum sealed, we're losing 10 kilos worth of weight.
And we need all the weight.
So hopefully if we vacuum seal.
And then did we have an empty house? Not quite. So our house is looking pretty empty, but there's still like lots of stuff everywhere. You can hear the echo. We're mostly empty right now. But again, there's lots of stuff we still need to sort out as well. The furniture's gone. So what did we do with the furniture?
Sold it off to friends and family, people who wanted stuff, and then the last couple of things we've sold to, these couches are going to these furniture buyers that buy furniture, and so we buy furniture and Cash Crusaders. The prices that you get aren't fantastic because they've got to resell, but right
now we're at you get what you get and you don't complain.
Yeah, it's the last part, and so you just try to get rid of stuff and make a little bit of money on things, and you make decisions, right? So we've also got some family coming over to pick up like rugs and things that they want. So everything that's around is really because people can come through and look and see whatever they want, and then whatever's left I'm actually just going to throw into the mini skip, so that because today is our last day in the house, hopefully, fingers crossed. Those last few days were basically just collaborating all the pickups and making sure we got the house as empty as possible. Okay, so we've basically packed up most of our house. It's been a big job, hey? Yeah, we've got the last couple of bits.
And
very stressful.
So tensions are running high right now, but we just want to go through some of the stuff that we've done to make this a little bit easier. So Chad's going to take us through it.
Yeah, so the biggest thing that I've done is I've hired this. It's a mini skip. You can put it outside the house, and basically we can just throw all our junk in here, and they take it to a landfill site. These guys do it quite responsibly. They separate the things so that things can be recycled and everything else can be crushed and disposed of in a responsible way. And that really helps. It's the second time we've had it here this week, because there's so much in our house that we realized, papers, old books that can't be used by anybody else, and lots of plastic and stuff that needs to actually be disposed of. So this has been great, because then we don't have to worry about how we're going to dispose of all the junk.
Miniscape was definitely a win for us, and I'm going to add their details in the description box if you'd like to check them out. And then it was the last few pickups, and finally we had an empty house. There was just something so emotional and surreal about taking that last walkthrough in the place that we called home, the place that we made so many memories, and now seeing it empty, knowing that this was the last time we would be there. Final piece of admin was sorting out our cars, and we opted to sell Would We Buy Cars. We found it to be the quickest and the easiest process. So I said goodbye to my car at the airport as we made our way on holiday to spend time with our friends and family in KZN. And the next time we saw Joburg, we would be ready to board our flight to London. Now here's a breakdown of the shipping costs you might want to pause to read, and of course this is based on the items in the inventory that we decided to ship. Okay, that was quite a journey and it took me right back. And now my cookies are done, my tea's almost done, and I have last few thoughts that I just wanted to share with you. We decided to mainly take sentimental items and not to take any of our household furniture or appliances. One of the main reasons for that was just purely due to size. Doorways, apartment sizes differ a lot in the UK, and we didn't want to have an issue with space in terms of the size of our furniture and having to find a place where we needed to fit our furniture. A lot of the apartments, especially the rentals, also come with semi-furnished or sometimes fully furnished, and we didn't want to have an issue of needing to store any of it. Another issue was we thought about the actual fact of having to convert plugs or having converters and adapters all over, and we did not like the admin behind that. And the last reason was that it does still take time to come. So our shipment has already left. It left around about maybe half a month ago, and it's probably still going to take another 2 to 3 months to get here. So if there is stuff that you need essentially and you get here, you're probably going to have to either get into a furnished apartment and wait, or if you have time on your side, you can actually send it beforehand and try and link it up for when you land here. So those are our reasons behind it, and I think I'm still very happy. You do still need to set up your house. So regardless, you're going to have to outlay that cash, and that's why if you are considering a move, it's important to start saving now. We had to dig into our savings to set up this place. Our home luckily came semi-furnished, so we didn't have to do couches and beds, and there are a few appliances that it came with, but the rest of it we had to buy when we got here. That was also nice because we're not waiting for our stuff to come on the ship, so we were able to get the appliances that we needed, and we are basically carrying on as normal now until our sentimental stuff arrives. We are still wondering, because everything feels so full right now, where we actually going to put all of that when it arrives, but we will figure it out, and I think we're going to just feel so happy to see our stuff again, and you know, especially all our sentimental stuff. It's going to feel so good, and it's really going to feel like home when that arrives. So looking back, I think if time is on your side when you are actually going through the process, there are a few things I might have done differently. Of course, time wasn't on our side. We found out in November. We were here at the end of Jan, so it didn't give us a lot of time to do much in terms of making the most of the stuff that we had in our house. So in terms of decluttering, I would start as early as possible. It is really ridiculous the amount of stuff we end up hoarding in our lives, and I mean, it makes sense, right? I am quite a sentimental person, so I have just hoarded things for the longest time. So I think it's a really good idea to declutter as much as you possibly can as soon as you find out. The next thing that I would have done, look, when it came to the sale of our stuff, I think bigger sales or like all-in-one sales work better. So if you can get one person that will do like a bulk purchase, it's always easier, which we were lucky to have had. In some instances, if you have the time and the energy for the admin, Facebook Marketplace works really well. If you can get private buyers, obviously you make a bit more, but because we went to resellers for some of our stuff, like in the end, our couches, we had to go to a reseller, and we really didn't make much on that. So I think looking back, there's not really much we could do differently because we did not have a lot of time, but if time is on your side, I would suggest start to look at the stuff that you can get rid of as soon as you can. It really helps. We were on a time crunch line as well because we were going away on holiday. We were going to spend time with the family. So even though we were leaving at the end of January, we actually needed our house emptied and everything out by like the end of December. So it was really quite a hectic time. It was basically a month that we had to get everything out of there. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, not everything can go exactly according to plan, no matter how much you try and plan or how many lists you have. And I think I learned that by experiences. And eventually you have to just say it's okay to cut some losses and to let go and to just get it done. So I think that's where we were at, and I think that's something that I just wanted to leave you with. But I hope you have enjoyed this video as much as I have enjoyed making it for you. If there's anything else you would like to know about on this journey, please do drop a comment in the comment section and we will answer your questions and address that for you. But in the meantime, please do like, share and subscribe if you're enjoying the videos, and thank you once again for watching. Till next time.